Traditional decision theory sees the future as being a distinct set of things that could happen, but only one of them will happen. Expected value, like in this question, very much makes use of that sort of vision of the future. You can see it here. There's a 60% chance that sales will be 1 million, a 30% chance of sales being 2 million, and a 10% chance of sales being 3 million. This is what I mean by a future that consists of a couple different things. What this is saying is that there's 3 things that could happen, but only one of them will. I might as well, because sometimes this helps, list them. Sales, 1 million, 2 million, or 3 million. Only one of these is going to happen, but right, what's the other part of this problem? We're being quoted probabilities of each one of these particular futures happening. Might as well record that. I just have to be careful to associate the probability with the correct future. 60% chance of 1 million. So that's what we're thinking is the most likely, actually, right? 30% chance then of 2 million, and a possibility, 10% chance of 3 million. Expected value treats basically the future, the outcome of the future, as being a weighted average of the probability of each one of the things that could happen. Well, another way to think about it is that it's simply a calculation from this data that we harvested here. To calculate the expected value of some future event, you take each thing that could possibly happen and you multiply it by the probability that will happen. One way to think about it is we think there's a 60% chance of $1 million in sales, so we take 60% of 1 million. Then we think there's a 30% chance of 2 million in sales, so we take 30% of 2 million and we add it to the 60% of 1 million. Right, and then we think there's a 10% chance of 3 million, so we just take 10% of 3 million and we add it to the other 2, and that's our vision of the value of the future. So the actual arithmetic looks like here's the payoff times here's the probability in decimal places, the payoff times its probability, there's the 30%, plus the payoff times its probability, right? There's the 10%. On my calculator, I get 1.5, which is to say we do have to remember, because this is a nice thing, it's 1.5 million. That is the so-called expected value of sales. Now, notice with the 3 things that could possibly happen, they cover the entire future. Those probabilities have to add up to 1. This next question is kind of hitting on that particular principle. A chance event can result in 3 future states of nature, so it's not entirely unlike the sales example we were talking about previously. And the first 2 states have a probability of 20% each. So we're saying there's like 3 things that could happen, and we're not even attaching any story to them. We're just saying one of these 3 things could happen, and the first 2, there is a 20% chance of each. What is the probability of the third? These have to add up to 100% by definition of the theory. They have to add up to 100%. Because that's every possible thing that could happen. So what's the answer to this question? All right, well, these first 2 add up to 40%. The whole thing has to add up to 100%. Therefore, actually, whatever this mysterious third state of nature is, it's the most likely, it's got to be a 60% probability.